Oh, hi guys. Have issues with the cable. Right? Perfect. Perfect. Sorry. My friend. Hello. Hello. Mr. Shu. So anyway, yeah, I'm sorry I haven't been here for a while. So I had some injuries and some issues there, and I couldn't really write. So I'm back on writing and translating. I was really sad, but it was what it was. So what can I do? Oh, not good. So, yes, it's chapter 62. My name is. Oh, no. My name is Student. Right? Good. So, chapter 62. Let's put it there. Right? I know. So, I just thought, let's keep it this way. Don't move. Don't move. Oh, that's good. Good lightning. Cool. So yeah, so I'm writing a book, a story based in Berlin, and I'm very excited about it. Also, I'm so thankful. Thanks, Zoe. Zoe's on Instagram, and we met via a common friend. Sadly, which came out through YouTube, that he actually passed away, and I mentioned him in a few videos here on YouTube. Kinch played. So we met by Kinch, bless him. And she encouraged me all these weeks so incredibly. And I thank you so much, Zoe, for believing in me. We never met in person. She lives in Cornwall. I hope we do. And she's a great artist. Because it felt like, just having haters around me and people who actually do not validate me or acknowledge me or appreciate me. I felt very much unappreciated very often, especially in the last couple of months. So it was a bit tough. So that's why, in particular, I'm very grateful. Also, being back here on my YouTube channel, and I'm grateful that I got now the right treatment and I'm better, and my hand is getting better. This one too. And yeah, so the last 3 or 4 weeks, I put a lot of effort into self-care. That was my main priority. Also, a daily meditation on Insight Timer, David G. And then I did, of course, my yoga, went swimming and stuff like that. And through beautiful, wonderful souls like Zoe and a few others, which helped me a lot. And recently I found out, and I got that book, the newest book from Rhonda Byrne. She did actually, her first book was The Secret, so I guess that almost everybody who's kind of even the slightest in spirituality or New Age philosophy knows The Secret, or it at least rings a bell. So yeah, and that helps me a lot. I like her books. I read The Secret and I saw the film, of course, but it really clicked for me from a second book on. Yeah, and things like that, because it's about our frequency, and it's true, no matter how our circumstances are, and they can be really shit sometimes, life happens anyway. But the art is to feel happy anyway and grateful and count the blessings, you know. So I feel grateful to be here now with you. I have part of a chapter for you, which I haven't shared with you before. And yes, I want to share that with you now. So here we go. Should I move my hat like that? Yes, it's getting longer, right? Anyway, just leave it. Just, you know. So, chapter 62, Trash and Saying. It's already middle of July 2004. My birthday is coming up again. It's late afternoon. I'm out and about in the neighborhood. I go for a walk to visit my friend Herbert Herzlein in Niederbarnim Street. We talk a bit. I go back home, take a shower, and I'm completely unshaven, had no time for that. I get on my bike and ride to Mutte in Great Hamburger Street. I get off and push my bike into the courtyard and ring the bell at BB's. No one moves. Then I go through the Iron Gate, the big one. If you go to number 19, Great Hamburger Street in Mitte, behind Hackischer Markt, you will see that big Iron Gate. But he doesn't live there anymore, so it doesn't matter. Well, yeah, so I go through the Iron Gate and the door is open to the second courtyard. I see the light and throw stones at the window. Nobody moves. Well, after a few minutes, I give up and go back to the first courtyard and grab my bike and cycle leisurely through Mitte, my barn district, my square. I cycle towards home and past Bonfini, the pastoria. I see BB. I'm fluttered. Oh, he wasn't at home at all. I see. I get off my bike and everything, lock it up, and just go in. BB is sitting at the counter with two friends who run the Meistersinger agency. Yes, the two friends are very nice, and they invite me to join them because they notice that BB and I know each other and that there's something sizzling. I say to BB, I was just at your place and threw stones at the window. BB is completely perplexed. Oh, I wasn't there. I'm like, yeah, you're here too, in front of me. Well, it's a fun round. I also feel quite comfortable in my skin. I mean, that's really cool, you know, when you really feel comfortable. I haven't taken anything either. I'm completely sober except for the drinks. B gives me signs that he'll be home soon and that I can throw stones again at the window because he'll be there. Okay. I leave shortly after him, get on my drahters, so-called old bicycle, and drive to Great Hamburger Street, number 19. I sneak through the courtyard. His friend was at his door for a quick chat. As soon as he leaves, I go in. Stand in front of the glass door, ring the bell. B is standing right opposite me and looks at me with a very stern look. He finally lets me in and leads me down the hall past the open kitchen to the spacious living room area or living area. Yeah, it says living area, right? I love the renovated premises. They're so stylish, usually 2 stories and situated in the backyard. That was his thing. Can I say stories, like 2 floors? Anyway, B asked me if I want to spend the night with him and offers me a glass of wine in a fancy burgundy glass. He asked me if I want to stay the night? Oh my god. He prefers to smoke red galwas, which I also like, or rather prefer. I mean, nowadays I don't smoke, but back in the day. Back in the days I did. Even there, we have something in common. OMG, you know? I mean, honestly, come on, you know? He gives me a stone to crumble, meaning a piece of hash, and long papers. So I built a joint, and of course, B turns on one of his radio plays. He's so full of himself. Anyway, I'm thrilled. I'm so thrilled. I'm so utterly thrilled. I sit at the maestro's house, this time much more relaxed than the last time. I feel good in my skin. The whole evening, even without makeup, and I wear my airy red bomber jacket with a bent collar. And we smoke the joint, and every now and then we actually say something. I mean, that's amazing. He sometimes says something and we have somewhat a conversation, you know? But he's always so up to date, and yes, probably very insecure. What can I say? I always feel like the mouse and the elephant. In that case, or in this case, I'm the mouse for that one. We go upstairs to a sleeping area where the ceilings are very high. And in the corner is his bed. And there's another bathroom with a bathtub. Downstairs, just a shower. Making ourselves comfortable. I sit on the edge of the bed and browse through the books on his bedside table. B puts 2 wine glasses on the table and holds the joint out to me. We get naked and so on. And yeah, really good. I feel free. And even though I'm completely unshaven and on my legs and pubic area and so on, I mean completely unshaven, you know what that means. Well, all of a sudden B takes me from behind in his commanding tone, which actually can be good, you know, but it also can be bad. Depends. This time he holds out his rust and tells me to lick his rosette. I've never done that before. Well, I think shortly, if you're a bit pushed, you know. Well, then it looks really delicate and pink and clean and so on. So yes, I lick his rosette, but only briefly. That has to be enough, you know. But he takes me from behind and flings me through the bed and suddenly wants to push his dick into my butthole / rosette. What does sound better, butthole or rosette? I scream and he says, "Oh, didn't be like that," and holds poppers under my nose for me to inhale. It gets wild and hot, but I run first into the bathroom because this brown shit that came out with it was already nasty, so I rather quickly shower it off, you know, because it's a bit disgusting and I feel a bit embarrassed. But yeah, so cleaned up, we continue. Now he fucks me properly with momentum in my pussy and also from behind. So I like it. So I like it now, but partly in the body, it's like it feels different. And I actually come as never before and almost sober. I mean, that's mega. Apart from the drinks, the hash, and poppers. You know what I mean? It's completely sober, you know what I mean? Yeah, so we take a short break, have a drink, smoke, and lie down. This time, oh no, but we can't keep our hands off each other at all. So it goes on this time even more intense and targeted and well rehearsed, like fluent. I'm flying. It's the best sex I've ever had. But I'm also really into B. I have to say, you know, sex. If you're in love with someone, sex is different, feels different. So I desire him to the hilt and melt away. I'm like butter in his hands. And I'm so madly in love with B, even more than I've ever was with S. Although I thought it was the love of my life with S. I feel even more strongly now with B. B is the love of my life. It's the fuck of my life. Like the big fucker, the greatest fucker, like the shag of the year, the greatest shag ever. I'm so into his mouth, his lips. I want to kiss and lick it rather than his pale, nicely pink, clean butthole. We fall asleep for a few hours and then we continue. It really flows. Like really flows. I'm also really, since I practice yoga, so lively and smoothly, like really elastic. I'm not kidding, really elastic. Do yoga and Pilates and you get really elastic. It's unbelievable. It's really good. And it has great effects in your inner body also when you make, for instance, love. I head home, and this time I leave him my number on the bedside table. I cycle home happily, overtired and happy, through Karl-Marx-Allee and towards Frankfurter Tor. I don't want to tell Ulke, my housemate, because this time I think she will say something nasty or embarrass me, or I feel embarrassed, but she didn't want to embarrass me. Then she will tell Peppy, and Peppy is his best mate and slave. I don't know. So I don't say anything. Or next day I'm going to party with Olga. I'm in pink clouds. I mean, like really love addicted, or that I'm into his shags addicted. I can tell. Can't say. Olga smells are red. So I talk my way out of it and say nothing. My birthday's coming up. I invite Matthias, my ex-lover, who still thinks we're still together, then Steffi, Hans' ex-girlfriend but very good mate, Sandra Süßmilch, and a few other people, and of course Thomas Wölfting, the sculptor. We sit socially on our terrace, and it's really nice. I'm happy that I'm celebrating more and more really nice birthdays nowadays. And more often. Suddenly my phone rings and I see only an anonymous or unknown number, unknown caller, and I answer it. It's B. Wow, I almost fell off the wagon. What? B is calling me on my birthday? Are you fucking kidding me? That's amazing. That's a sign. I almost fell off my feet. He's my absolute dream man. He no idea. Oh my God, you know what I mean? Well, I didn't recognize that he's an absolute douche. I was like so utterly in love. Well, at least I know I can love unconditionally, but a bit later, at some points in my life, or turning points, I had to learn and to see that I actually need to love myself unconditionally. And having pets, in my case, helped me a lot because I could immediately love my pets unconditionally. That's the thing. I mean, I truly, like, everyone has love in themselves, you know? But I think a lot of people are disconnected from it, or narcissists, you know? I mean, there's a lot of narcissists. And, you know, sometimes I check out TikTok, and every time, like, videos about narcissists, what to do with narcissists, you know? I'm at the moment dealing with a narcissist myself, where I live. But, you know, even they are just people with issues. There's a lot of issues, but, you know, I just can stay on my house, like, do the best, and, you know, be loving and kind to myself, and so into my environment, you know. But let's have a count. And I also did the last few weeks, I mean, I do that always, but I was reminded to do affirmations, because it's difficult when you like have a dark moment to be connected to that. But when I get these reminders, I am. And my favorite quote is still, God hired me. Who's going to fire me? You hear me? Exactly. Yeah. So Margie, and these are Margie's cards. The chosen one are cards. Well, let's have a look. What to pull your card. Please, spirits, give us the right card for the collective. That's how they talk. For the collective. Okay. What do you have for us? Card of the day. Oopsie. Oh, natural Reiki powers. Yeah. Even family members. Yeah. Take a lawyer, I can tell you that. God's ambassador. Yes. Thank you, Marty. God hired me. Who's going to fire me? Exactly, fucker. You know what I mean? Rebirth. Yes. Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, so definitely don't give up, you know. Don't give up, because that's what they want, you know. I have just, you know, seen it myself because I was emerging. I have invites to, as I have a fashion line, I just created it a few months ago. But I felt so blocked because, you know, when you're not even can write anymore, like, you know, just the basics, even toothbrushing is now with better done with the left hand, but it's like so insane. And I felt so sad. And then when you deal with narcissists, you know, they really, it's like they're targeting you, especially when you are on a higher frequency, you know, they really like, they want to get you down on their level, you know. And if you look through that, sometimes, you know, we don't see that immediately, but it's not nice, you know. And then being threatened to move out in days, you know, where should you go with pets, you know, and they're not even able to carry your own stuff. You know what I mean? So I had a lot of stress, and I felt so down at some point, but, you know, was just crying and sobbing. And then I accepted that. And then I focused very much on my self-care. Yeah, that was good. That was really good. And then thankfully, like reminders of these wonderful souls like Zoe, I have to put her Instagram. I will edit that later and we'll put it on there. She's a wonderful soul. She's an artist and she said so great things to me. Really encouraging. And the world should be like that, with people and so-called friends. But it felt so shallow wherever I went. And then, when you're in a strange living situation and you give everything, you're really giving and try your best, but you're actually dealing with narcissists. It's so fucked up. So what can I do? Just reminding myself and saying, hey, God hired me. Who's going actually to fire me? You can't because God put me here. So fuck off, shut up, and don't take all the air I'm breathing because I'm actually like a creative soul. I need to emerge and spread my wings. And everyone, deserves to feel safe and at home and, to charge the batteries. And not that your batteries are like taken from you and that you're completely exhausted and talked down. I mean, honestly, I'll tell you that. People can think of me whatever they want because I can't control it anyway. Even can be sad. But, I have the right to rise and shine, so and I'm unstoppable. I might have been slowed down, so what? And I've said that to that narcissist as well. You know what I mean? Yeah. Oh, twin flame mission. Yes, twin flame. Twin flame. I'm attracting my twin flame into my life. My twin flame is on the way here. My twin flame is somewhere abroad. I know you're watching me. I mean, maybe not on YouTube, but sometimes telepathically, I love you. And I'm so grateful because you know what? When I get downloads and I'm meditating and stuff like that, even in autumn, there was some trouble. But, I always have the download, keep going, keep writing, keep creating, keep doing your designs and stuff like that and painting. And, that's me and that really is my source. And then I'm really connected to this higher source, and be of service. And it feels so great. I'm so grateful that I could type again. I mean, sometimes it was really funny typing today because then there are gaps between the word because, it's different like that. But at least it works. And I'm so grateful. And I'm so grateful that, it's healing now. I have the right braces. Because nowadays I can tell you that, just try not to get sick. An acquaintance from Berlin just died a few days ago. Heidi was her name. I was really connected to her mum. Her mum died 10 years ago. And I was walking with her, visited her, and, I had a very great connection with her mum. And she was nice too, but I had a special connection to her mum. And yeah, so she died, and about 4 weeks ago, she just heard that, or got diagnosed finally that she had lung cancer. And then one doctor finally said, oh, that should have been diagnosed minimum a year ago, and then you wouldn't have need chemotherapy. So she started right away chemotherapy, but they didn't even check if it was already spreading. So they obviously, or maybe, gave her the wrong chemotherapy treatment because she just had 3, and very suddenly, Friday to Saturday night, she died. I've never heard about anything like that before, right? Someone who started chemotherapy just right at the beginning dies. It's sad. I believe in death as death is a transformation. Death as such doesn't exist. And I also heard a few weeks ago that one of my biggest loves, even though it was a lot of shit, got diagnosed with a lot of things and has just a few weeks left. Seems like it's a big clearing now, and yeah, it's strange, but it is what it is. And yeah, that also made me very sad. There was like a lot of stuff coming out. So yeah, it was. But luckily I have Mr. Shu here with me, it's like such a blessing. Right, Mr. Shu? And my cats, Schnully and Puppy. And it's so much better like that. I'm grateful to be sober. I can see, when certain people like narcissists, how they live. And it snows a lot. It's not fun having to do with people like that because I have nothing to do with people who take too much or are actually addicted. Like I used to have, and I was surrounded by people like that all the time. Yeah, Mr. Shu. He's my best buddy. I have to always say, like my eldest cat is my best friend. He's my best buddy. And my other cat is my best girl. And I'm very cautious with that, what I say. So yeah, this is my best buddy, Mr. Shu. And yeah, but I'm also grateful, we have a roof over our head. And even where I live right now, it feels like, and I had downloads because I work with Jesus since my childhood. Sounds probably silly for some people, but it doesn't matter. But it is what it is. So I have to be here because God hired me, So God hired me, so I'm here. So God tells me to move on, which will be at some point. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I'm so grateful to be back here again. And I expect to do that regularly again, like before. And even with some so-called tower moments, how these spiritualists talk, people I thought are my friends betraying me big time, backstabbing. But hey, I'm still here. And I'm back on shining. You can't stop me. I'm unstoppable. And as I said, thanks to Margie, God hired me. Who's going to fire me? You definitely not. Anyway, I wish you lots of love and thanks for listening. Chapter 62. I'm much forwarded, but I had to translate, which I couldn't do before. So I'm almost up to date now. I actually have written 65 chapters now. It's about 230 pages, 235 pages. It's halfway through. Yeah, halfway through. Lots of love. Take care. Be good to yourself. And never forget, no one can dull your sparkle unless you allow it. So just get back on track. Pull out your light and shine.